rebel ship is escaping, but Constantine will deal with them. Let's teach these clones just how obsolete they are.
Boys, this might be it. At least we'll go down fighting like a clone shoot. I'm with you all the way, Captain. I'm going for the legs! All four of them! They've lost their minds! But you ain't get...
Boy, this review is going to be different, and let alone this video is going to be different. Why, you may ask? Well, let's get into it. First thing for foremost, I'm going to say this right now, audience. I said a lot of times A-T-E-T when it's literally A-T-T-E, not E-T. I don't know why I keep saying it. Maybe a ring to it, but please forgive me. I didn't notice it until now when I did all this, and it was so much work and so much things that I was doing in this video that I didn't have time to think. But yeah, we're reviewing this tank, the ATTE. So it takes a while for me to stop because I almost want to say AT-AT. I mean, if you're old like me that's seen the originals a little bit, yeah, sometimes AT-AT sticks in your head a lot more when you say AT-TE. Yeah, you had to stop your head saying that. So, and a couple of things too, I will get to that in a minute, why this box is open, because, yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. But right now, as you can tell, we get pretty much 3 battle droids, a spider walker, the tank itself, Commander Cody, and a bunch of clones, as you can see by the lovely down there. And flipping on the back real quick to show the lovely art for the people. This thing has a slidable thing on it, which I did mention it later on in the video, and I'm going to explain why this whole thing is all irritating, but I won't get into too much detail of it. But basically, yeah, it's not bad. And I'm sweating like a dog, so forgive me about that. It's warm here. So, basically, you're probably wondering, Fury, why is it open? This is an empty box. This is supposed to be, let's open it up and see what we got. No. I got this from Amazon for 200 bucks. 200 bucks. And when I got it, this was open. Yeah. This was open, the whole thing was in, and they were trying to tape it back up with this little piece of tape wrapped around it from both sides. I was scared. I literally had to open up their booklet, you know, the thing, hope I got it backwards, their booklet to make sure all of them were there. Thankfully, when I opened it up and read through all the pages, it said 6 bags. So I'm like, okay, all 6 are there. Good. Just to give you a little proof. See, like the final page, it says 6. So I said, okay, good. But it had double bags. It had 1 bag, which is fine, and then it had 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, and 2 6s. So I was like, is everything here? I mean, the box was open. I didn't do this. I didn't tape it up like this. When I usually do LEGO reviews, I usually cut it open with a box slightly on the side, so that way it wouldn't damage the product. So that way I can hang it, yours truly, behind the wall, nice and neat, and make it look, the box look neat for art design. But, so I got scared, so I built the thing ahead of time. Yes, this is me building it afterwards. So forgive me that I didn't have like a first reaction opening it up and going through the whole thing. I had to build it first to make sure it was all there. And thankfully, it was. So I'm just giving you a little update that I just built it. I've reviewed it at the end, describing what it does and all that. So this is a little different. So I don't want to waste too much time, so I already did it. So thank you. If you're going to watch this through, I thank you very much. And whew, enjoy the build, guys, and enjoy the end of the review, because Amazon, come on. You got to be careful with these packages and actually seal them better. Or maybe not Amazon, maybe it's the actual customer itself, like trading it off. But either way, talk about scary. I thought it wasn't all there. So yeah, see you at the end. all this. Now, there's a lot to talk about here, and I'm sorry about my half my head off the camera thing. This is the closest I can get to show the details of it and show you all this. I mean, this is 1,000 pieces right here. So, let's break it down to the nitty gritty about the goods, the bads, and my final verdict things. Well, obviously, you do get your money's worth because look, I mean, look at all this. You got the perfect AT-ET, which is a very beautiful design. I think this is the one, if Star Wars fans may correct me for this, but I'm pretty sure this is the one that when, Commander Cody says blast him, I think this is the AT-ET that did that. Like, shot that lizard off the cliff in this clip right here. Yeah, I believe this is the actual creation of that vehicle. That makes sense with Commander Cody and all of them, because this is the AT-AT that not AT-AT, AT-ET that shot him. I always get those confused because AT-AT was always my classical thing, but that's because of me. Oop, gotta straighten up the legs. And then we'll talk about that problem in a minute. But for right now, let's talk about the figures first. Let's start with the smallest one first, shall we? Now, granted, like it showed, you got 3 battle droids. Not really like anything unique. They just look like standard-of-mill, 2000 and pretty much 15 version of droids. What do I mean by that? Well, you could tell by their gun. The way they're holding it is like straightforward, and so on and so forth. You got the curved hand. So yeah. So basically, nothing too special about them. So if you want more battle droids, I mean, that's as golden. But the one thing that ekes me, or let alone thing, is the little spider walker. Now, I don't know if they're called that. Now, clone fans or Star Wars fans can correct me on that. I don't know what these things are called, but I know for a fact these are spider drones. These are really deadly in the Clone Wars. They were able to climb up walls and everything else, and able to shoot very deadly blasters that go through mostly a lot of armor. Even the little fun fact, these are the ones I believe where the Empire even used them against the Rebels because they were so good and effective. Kind of like the Trade Federation tank that I have over there that they kept some of them as well. So yeah, it's really cool to actually have a little figure that's the Spider Walker, but he looks dorky as hell though. But I do like it. But the main thing that we should be talking about is the clones. Well, what about them? Well, I can kindly say it for all 3 of majority of them are basically the same. They're like these. I'm just going to hold up one because I know for a fact they're all the same, just one has a different blaster. It's like, basically, you got like these yellow stripe, lovely detail, hold them really close. I think they're really good in detail. They got the blaster rifles of these eras today. Not bad at all. Like I said, they're really good, but there's only 3 of them that are the same. But then you got this one that carries a different blaster. Same looking designs and stuff like that. But the major difference, and for nostalgic or anyone who wants to collect, Commander Cody with the little visors and stuff and the orange sleeves. Now this I wanted to get for a while. Commander Cody was one of the Lego figures I didn't get for a while. So this one I really like the fact that he came with it. So you got a little visor that can go up and down. So yeah, really good detail of him as much. But we also got the driver, which is a grayish tone version of it. Kind of like the same detail, but only difference is like it's just gray tone. He's just the driver, which kind of looks like Wolf, pretty much, Commander Wolf kind of way. It doesn't look bad at all. It actually looks pretty good. But now, let's talk about the main tank itself. Now, first and foremost, I had some huge problems with it right off the bat. First and foremost, the legs. The legs are very, very, how do I say, weak. They're being held by toothpicks, not the actual thing leg itself. I'm talking about the detail, like these circle rings on its leg. They're held by little sticks, and that's a big problem because, let's face it, anything that's loose or shootable is the code of the Bible. Like, it's going to be lost, and it's I don't want that to happen because this is a really expensive thing, but like I said, but it is the code of childhood thing. Now, I do like the fact that I just showed it in the beginning that this comes out and you can put the driver in it. That's actually a pretty cool idea. I don't know if it's in the old ones. Please let me know in the comments if the old ones do that, but I'm pretty sure not a lot of them did that. I'm sure my girl probably knows that, but still, I like the fact that it does that. Um, and obviously, yes, all the guns are rotatable. I don't like the way how the guns are though, because these are held by little. I'll hold them up as best I can. These little black tubes, and if you pull it just right, or they could be pulled off, they could be easily flinged off. Now I know they're supposed to push all the way in to make sure it stays in, but sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, it's the sad part of the fun part of moving these little guns. Yep, see, there it goes. See? It's like the fun part of moving these little guns everywhere is kind of sad when literally like you got these pieces that can easily fall off. So you got to be careful with that. So yeah, what are the other things? Oh, but there is a positive I like. Instead of like I'm giving negatives and positives. This thing has a holder. You're probably wondering what this thing is in the beginning when I was doing it. This picks it up without hurting the Lego piece. I thought that was a really good idea. I mean, how weird and bulky these legs are, holding it like that in a well-secured area is really innovative because not only that, I don't have the gun droid ship, but imagine like you were doing movies on YouTube, like those animation filters for Legos. You could just have them picked up by the, I forgot what they called. God, I wish I had my friends here that know a lot more about the Clone Wars than I do. The little drop-off things from, here, I'll show you a clip of them. Yeah, that flying thing. You can have it just go zoom and then ready to fight. That's I like that a lot because more Legos that are big, like the fucking AT-AT on the bottom of the seat down there, doesn't have that, and you can easily break it if you don't be careful. And good God, that's a big problem. But there's some other things we have to talk about, and there's a lot to talk about this because again, $200. I expect something more out of this, right? So, not only that, you get the back part, which obviously it opens up. Oh, by the way, before we open up and show the inside, I don't know who designed the top part of the roof, but I want to hurt them so bad. Because if you put too much pressure on these parts and this part, and then where the gun is right here, where you're supposed to open up, these pieces break off. And then it pisses me off because it's like it will fling off and then you have to put it back together and it's meant to be open up and yet the fucking pieces fly everywhere. And it just pisses me off. Like right now, see, like there's a piece here that went off. Let me fix that real quick. And then you're gonna put this back on it. And then, oh God, come on, baby, don't break. Come on, just like Rex says, it's just a scratch. Come on. All right, so that fixed that problem. Sorry you couldn't see that, but that was irking me. And they were designed to like lift up. Why do I have a big problem with this? Well, now let's talk about the part inside. Because yeah, this opens up, and I do love the fact that this opens up smoothly. I like that a lot. That's actually pretty cool. Now, opening up this compartment here, which you could flap these open for a better view of the inside of the ship. If I can hold it up to the camera real close as best as I can, I apologize if you can't see much. There's a couple of things I don't like about it, but I do like. I like the fact that it has enough room to fit all the clones, like unlike the fucking AT-AT down there, where most of the driver part you can't fit a clone, or let alone a Lego piece easily in it without cramming them together. This one I like because it actually has space. Now, what I don't like is these parts. Oh, hang on, if I could point to it. This part right here. This one right there. Why? Well, it's a gun rack holder, if I can hold it up close. You're supposed to put your blasters and stuff like that. And I thought, cool idea. That's a nice way. Unfortunately, though, if you put these big, huge blasters on it, these clones are holding, it's going to break right off. And then the problem is, it breaks right off because it's held up by two little pieces holding it together. And they can just fall right the fuck off. And it's like, Oh god, and it gets so irritating. Although I do like the fact there's like, where is it? Like, I gotta look on the camera thing a little bit. Yeah, there's a coffee right there. It's like I'm imagining in wartime there's someone making coffee or tea. Is this like supposed to be making a joke about the British? Like when they have their own tea maker in it? Because apparently the clones have their own tea thing inside here. Or alcohol, depending on which one. Actually, I would be drinking too with the amount of shit the clones see. Ugh, yeah. So I thought that was cool. It has a little like terminal thing right here, and it's a nice little design inside. But that's not the only part you can go inside. Let me close it up real quick. All right, now let's open up this side because the turret earns. But this one's going to be hard to show off what I'm showing because this one is, well, the gun's in the frickin' way. Which, hang on, maybe if I take this off without breaking it. There we go. Yeah. Don't worry, folks. It's not broken 100%. It's not like, sin. No. Just want to show you the inside part. Like, if it wasn't for that gun, see, like inside here, you got a monkey wrench and 2 more seats and other things. So, yeah, there's the pulley part I was saying. But, yeah, it's hard to get into because without taking off this goddamn gun, it's kind of futile to go in there. Because, again, you've got a blaster right here that can only go up to this high unless you turn the gun all the way around to turn it this way. But it's like so irritating. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. These complaints are not what the. I don't like. I did not have fun with it. Like I'm saying, I do, but it's just I have to review it, and the problem is there's the piece breaking again. You heard that? Oh God! Come on, you bastard. You see what I mean? Like, this is why I find this one part to open up extremely a fucking bitch. Because here you are, trying to get these pieces together, trying to clip it back on, without breaking the damn thing. Yeah. So, obviously, as you can tell, these fire on the side, these little blasters, they fire like green pellets. Disappointing, in my opinion. Like, honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. They could put like easily a blue one here and have it like a shootable out here or something. That would be awesome. But no, they fire green, which anyone can explain to me. Like any clone person knows this. This fires blue. Why is this green? Is there some comic book lore or something that this ET that I don't know about? Why is it green? Just a pet peeve of mine. Sorry. What else to talk about? I already talked about the legs, how the bolts are. Now the legs are, like you say, like they're movable. I like that. They're very smooth, and I'm surprised they are. I mean, yeah, the back legs are your, back and front legs are your strongest, but they're very wobbly and surprisingly very durable. So yeah, this thing can fit on a nice flat surface. Now, on hilly terrains or anything like that, yeah, I could see this. Now, let's go to the final verdict. So, what do I think about all this and stuff like that? Yeah, I'm just grabbing it up like Smeagol's like, what do you want? And it's like Spaceballs. Remember that scene where he's like, knock on my door, knock next time.
Lord help me! What? You need it on the bridge, sir! Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir! Did you see anything? No, sir! I didn't see you playing with your dolls again! Good!
Sorry. Nostalgic moment when I did that. So, final verdict, what I think about this. Oh, and there is one more thing I don't like. This right here, where the guy's supposed to sit, there's nothing to hold him up. There's nothing. You have to literally keep him flat on a surface. Which, granted, I think that's cool if you're doing animation. If you have a visible string, you can make it fly off or make it fall off like you got shot off. That's kind of okay if you're an animation person, but for a collector that wants to keep it on the shelf, yeah, I would be extremely careful to put this on a flat surface, because then he will easily lean over and you'd be like, boop, gone. I'm not saying it's not too bad, but it's bad enough. So, sorry. Back to what I was saying. Final verdict. So you get a lot of figurines. You get a nice spider drone, which is a very, culture to the Star Wars lore. You do get an impressive, highly detailed but also has some flaws, ATET. So, let's see. I mean, there's a lot of pieces here. It's very fun to build. I mean, there's a lot of things that I disagree with the engineer building of this, but then again, with how much you could do, what can you do, really? So, I would have to give it I would say a 6 out of 10. It's really not a bad design. It really isn't. But those flaws it has, it just irks me a little bit of how much, like, things. There's a lot of pros in this, like the oven hatch, the back room storage thing better, and just some of the details and arts and the way how you take the thing out to put the driver in. I like that. However, I don't like the legs because they're very loose, very fragile, especially if you have a cat that can knock it over. And you got like very, very easily breakable pieces if you don't be careful, especially opening this one right here, this little apartment right here. You gotta be extremely careful. Like I see right there, I just broke it again. Son of a... Ah! I mean, so yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and may the force be with you guys. Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute order anyone who buys wargaming stuff. I'm sick and tired of seeing their prices.
Yes, my lord.
Some days I hate being a tank reviewer. What is that noise?